All right, guys, so we're gonna start by placing our wine cups either in a small pan like I've got here or a muffin pan, but you're gonna want them at an angle just like we have it here. And once you've gotten those set up nicely, you're just gonna go ahead and slide them over, and we're gonna bring in a bowl here. And when we bring in that bowl, we're gonna start with some lime jello. And we're just gonna place that right into the bowl, guys. And since we're gonna do this the quick method, we're gonna start by placing 1.5 cups of hot water right on top of that jello. Oh, yes. And then we're gonna start whisking it up just enough, because now that we've gotten that, what we're gonna do is go ahead and come in with 1.5 cups of cold water with a few bit of ice cubes in there so that it will offset that heat. And then we're gonna get the remaining of that jello nice and dissolved. Guys, you're gonna wanna make sure it's all dissolved very nicely. So now that that's nice and dissolved, we're gonna slide it on over. Bring those cups back into the picture. And what we're gonna do is bring in a ladle here, and we're gonna take one of those cups, and at an angle, you're just gonna drop that liquid right down into that cup. And you're gonna wanna make sure you've got enough in there so that at an angle, it'll be nice and full. All right, so we're just gonna place that right back there. So as that jello molds, it'll have a nice shape. All right, so we're just gonna keep repeating this process to all of the cups here. You're just gonna fill them up nicely. Okay, so we've got just about as much as we're gonna need in here. Perfect. I'm gonna do one little scoop here. And we are ready. So we're gonna pop these in the fridge, and then we'll check back in on them and make sure they're all chilled. All right, while those are chilling nicely, we're gonna go ahead and start with some whipped topping and the remaining of that jello, and we're just gonna pour right into the Cool Whip. You're just gonna make it nice and green, and we're just gonna keep mixing this up. Consistency, it's exactly where we're wanting it, a nice minty green. So now we're gonna bring in our frosting bag here, and we're just gonna open it right up, and while this is still more of a liquidy consistency, we're just gonna pour that right back into that piping bag. Let it drip all the way down, because that's what you really want, is that nice peak, guys, because then it'll help to where it comes out very nicely. So you just kind of shake it down, let it come to that point, and this is looking great. We're gonna keep pouring this little bit, and then we're gonna pop this into the fridge and let it start chilling with that gelatin that we've made. Okay, so we're just gonna twist this up at the top here. All right, so our jello is nice and firm. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that piping bag that we filled up with the remaining jello and Cool Whip, and you're just gonna go ahead and take your scissors and cut at an angle so that we can start getting some of that out. You're gonna grab your cup here, and you're gonna just start filling that up. Just make sure it gets nice and full. Now we're just gonna keep, and just like we did to the first one, we're just gonna keep repeating this process and making them nicely full. Now that we've got those, we're gonna take them and place them right on down to our plate here. And look at how good those are. Look. We're gonna go ahead and add some topping, some whipped topping here. And you're gonna start by just placing a good old round here, right across the top of each of them. This adds such a fun little jazz to any of your desserts. And once you've gotten that, since it is the season, I came in with some Lucky Charms marshmallows. And so we're just gonna place a couple of those marshmallows right onto these desserts. Of course, we've gotta get the little leprechaun hat here with a 4-leaf clover. What kind of St. Patty's Day dessert would be anything without that? So now that we've gotten that, I'm gonna go ahead and come on in and taste our rainbow with some airheads. And I'm just gonna take these little airheads and cut them in half here. And we're just gonna do enough to where we can put one little sprig right into our dessert here. And this just adds such a fun and festive little touch to our dessert. How stinking cute is that?